Good evening, everybody. How you doing? My name is Kevin Hokawana. I want to welcome you to this Signal Forge update webinar. If you can hear me and you can see my screen, please hop in the chat and let me know. Just hop in there and say, yes, I can hear you, or no, we can't hear you, and we will move forward. Awesome. Beautiful. Good to see everybody here. Mark, call me, my friend. Roland, beautiful. All right, this is great. We got a bunch of folks hopping on here. Debbie, how are you? How are you? Wasis, Roland, Eddie, beautiful. Okay, so George, how you doing, my friend? So we're really excited about this, and a lot of you that um, are on here, and you've already had success with the system. You've already seen what this system can do, and in fact, hop in the chat and let me know if you've grown in income with Signal Forge thus far. I want to see it, but we are really excited about this because this represents a lot of things for us, a lot of revolutionary ways that the markets are moving. We have been growing businesses for quite some time, and we have never seen anything that has been this clear and this cut and this so easy for people to go ahead and get started with. We just haven't seen it. And so we're very excited to bring this to you, and a lot of the updates as we roll these things out, as we move forward with everything we have with Signal Forge, I think you guys are going to absolutely love it. I think it's the plug-and-play system, or as close as you can get to that, that we haven't seen out there. So let me know if you guys agree, and we will get this underway. We have Hitesh Juneja on the call with us tonight. We've got John Kinnear on the call with us tonight, and we're going to go through this stuff and get you guys up and running with all the updates we have here at Signal Forge, and we're pretty darn excited about it. So I want to welcome John out to the call, and we'll get this underway. So John Kinnear, my friend, how are you? Are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thanks
Beautiful.
so much, Kevin. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to be here, and especially excited to see all the leaders that are popping in from, it looks like, pretty much all four corners of the planet.
Definitely, and we can give them another 30 seconds before we kick this off. But you know, for those of you who are on here, and for those of you who are going to be a part of this family and are just kind of seeing this and learning more about Signal Forge, this really is something unique in the ecosystem of offerings and home-based businesses that you can do. So we are, you know, it's a beautiful day when you can see a system like this roll out, and I can see every name on here that I see on this webinar. I know for a fact you guys are doing great things with this, and we'll continue to as we move forward with Signal Forge. So I think we're good. If you want to go through these, John, and we'll get this kicked off, and then we'll pull out Hitesh and have him do his thing. We're pretty excited about that as well.
Sure. Let's walk through the table of contents. So let's just have a little bit of a look at the things that we're going to cover. Obviously, one of the things that we want to do, because this is an update webinar, is make sure that all of you are completely up to date on Signal Forge binary, and specifically some of the recent successes that people have had. I was on with someone just recently, just telling guys that someone had a $1,200 day not long with Signal Forge, and specifically the auto trading. Obviously, there's been a small disruption in your auto trading, the repetition of signals. We're going to have some news for you in that regard. We're going to have a little bit of news in manual trading. We're not actually going to walk through a manual tutorial on this particular webinar, because I know most of you are here for updates, not for a specific lesson on how to. However, Kevin or Hitesh will touch on the fact that we do have specialized manual trading courses and more information on that are going to be scheduled very soon for you. Obviously, Markets World being added to the Signal Forge binary fold for brokers, and then additional signals. Kevin or Hitesh will touch on some additional signals that are going to be made available to you. And then on the Signal Forge Forex side, you're going to learn a little bit more about this Signal Forge Forex product, how this has been developed, how it's being developed, what makes this such a unique product. We've got some absolutely fantastic leaders on this webinar right now, and some fantastic leaders that are part of Signal Forge in Europe that Bill is working with. We've got Kentway in Asia, we've got Anga that's been, I know, giving a lot of help to a lot of you in Asia. We're seeing our Philippines family just explode with interest in SignalForge. What I'm really interested for all of you is when the SignalForge Forex product is released. I know there's so many of you are contacting us and say, can we make bigger trades? We want to make $100 or $200, $300 trades and really maximize our product. And what you're going to learn, and you're going to be excited to learn, is that's exactly what SignalForge Forex is going to be designed for you to do. So there'll be some systematic approaches. They'll be laid out for you, not in this webinar. This is going to be more of an overview for you. But as time passes, you'll really learn to understand this product extremely well and how to do amazing things. So, Kevin, if there's anything you want to add to that dialogue, otherwise we can dive right into content.
Definitely. One thing I do want to bring out, and this has been a big question I've been getting, is the Forex side. Because right now we've been operating in the binary options space, and we've been using binary.com specifically. As we move forward with the other brokers, you will see things like Market World pop into here and be trading on Market World to give you a more diverse portfolio to trade on in the binary options space. But we believe that Forex is going to be the big thing, okay, hands down. And it's been quite a journey to get to this point, but you're going to be able to reap the benefits of a lot of hard work on the back end and make sure you guys have an awesome automated Forex system. We are pretty excited about this. So you'll be able to connect with different brokers. Hitesh will get into that and how the Forex works. But as we make this this addition slash transition, for some of you, it'll be a transition when you want to make bigger trades and get into a market that can sustain insane growth. And for some of you, you'll stay in both sides. It'll be an addition. So we're pretty excited to see what you do with it, but we're also excited that this service will even exist on the face of the planet for you guys to use. So we're pretty excited about that, and that's pretty much all I want to touch on with that, is that the Forex side coming is going to be huge for you. It's going to be huge for you guys. John, turn it back over to you, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, well, why don't you pull up those bullets then, and we'll slide right through these. What I want to do before we turn the time over to the updates and training with Hitesh, I just want to make you aware of a very simple system that's going to be rolled out to you, and it's going to be rolled out this week, and it's going to be a model that is very simple and easy to use, which makes it very easy to teach. And as all of you know on this call, most of you should know on this call, I've been involved in network marketing for more than 20 years. And I've been very fortunate that I've been paid several $1 million in my time with network marketing. Most of that income was passive. I worked very hard on a program for about 2 or 3 years and probably have made $5 million since I more or less retired from that program. And there's things that you can do to facilitate that kind of a passive earning, and those are the things that I'm going to teach you in this training program that you'll have a PDF for. It'll be very easy for you to follow. It will really essentially be the system that just then needs you to apply the energy to push the whole mechanism forward. So you're not going to have to do any lateral thinking. You're not going to have to create ideas, scripts, or building strategies for yourself. It'll all be there laid out, simple as 1, 2, and 3. You just need to be the energy that pushes it forward and makes it work. One of the things about using tools like this is it saves you a ridiculous amount of time. When I was building my network marketing business, it happened to be in the health area. It was in the supplement industry. And I probably can't count the number of times that somebody asked me if I was a doctor. And that's one of the worst things that they could say to someone building a network marketing business, because what it means is, A, I've taken a large amount of interest in my particular topic or product, which is health, and I've spent a lot of time learning and internalizing that information and then sharing it with them. And what really happens when you impress someone like that is it's very apparent that they're thinking to themselves, well, that sounds great, and I'm very interested in the program, but I could never do what you're doing. And that's exactly the opposite of what you want to hear, because all of you know, if you have network marketing experience, the real money in network marketing comes from having a simply duplicated system. In other words, members of your organization being able to independently move forward without you. And so once I realized the error of my ways, that my enthusiasm was actually hurting my growth, not helping my growth, I backed right off and started using tools and teaching systems to use tools, and my business just blew up. I was making fantastic annual income every single month, and what's happened, of course, since then is that my business has continued to flourish long after I've stepped away and not been actively involved, and that's exactly what I'm going to help facilitate for you, because as you know, the Forex world is truly immense. And in preparation of some of these tools for you, I was doing a little bit of research, and the Forex world right now, some of the statistics on the daily trade volume is around $4.5 trillion, $4.3 trillion, depending on who you're talking to. So we're about to enter into a world that has tremendous upside and no downside and no ceiling. No ceiling on it like we would have with the binary options world because of the smaller size of that particular area. This is also going to teach you how to fund your accounts, whether it's binary options or Forex, with your reward plan results. Take all the pressure off you. Not only are you going to make the money in the rewards plan, but then you're going to use those funds and leverage them to continue to make more money with your product. So one of the things that's already been prepared for you by Kevin is if you go to the signalforgesolutions.com, which is our SignalForge page, and type in /video, you'll see on the little tablet in the picture, 2 videos are there for you. They're both around 6 or 7 minutes long. We're deliberately keeping them very short. We'll modify them as Forex becomes available for you. This is a very simple way for you to share a 6 or 7 minute video with a friend. Of course, the 2-minute video is on the home page of the site, and that will be incorporated into the simple trading system. And then, of course, we'll also have promotions that will be rolling out as this product launches for you to really help you reach out to individuals within your sphere of influence and give you extra bonuses for starting to push your business. Okay, and I already mentioned all of this is coming to you in a very, very simple 5 or 6 page PDF. Thanks, Kevin.
Oh, definitely. And so I think we're going to go past that one. I think we're about ready for Hitesh. Yeah, bring him on out, go through some updates, and get this party started. Yeah.
Start the party.
All right. So Hitesh, you guys all know who Hitesh is, and for those of you who don't, just give me a quick second. He is, the Mad Hatter behind a lot of this stuff, right? And whenever we do anything, he's the guy who has all the ideas. He sets the groundwork for this stuff, and then we scurry out there and implement it. It's pretty much how things flow. Amazing human being. If you guys don't know him, you're going to get to love him. Has done some amazing stuff at the ripe young age that he is, and it's really impressive to work with this man on a daily basis. We are truly privileged to have him as our CEO of INFINii, and now helping the SignalForge solution teams perfect what they've got and bring this to the market to you guys. So Hitesh, my friend, are you on here and take this over and show these guys everything you got?
Yes, I am here. Thank you very much for the introduction. And yes, I'm officially here to start the party. So let's go through a very, very quick recap of what's happened over the last 3 months or so, and then we're going to talk about some of the challenges and how those challenges are actually a very, very good thing for us, because it actually kind of highlights how well the whole thing is working. So if everybody can confirm that you can hear me, if you can hear me, it should be not a very thick but somewhat managed, diluted Indian accent, and you should be able to see my screen, which should be your SignalForge back office. So please let me know if you can see my screen.
We gotcha.
Okay, so let's start with the uniqueness of our system is in the very idea that an average user can come in here, they can set up the whole system, and they can essentially begin getting results. They can start earning income, and that's something that's very unique, right? I mean, that's the whole idea, having something that is making an income for the average user before they even have to recruit or before they even know about the opportunity on that side is a very unique system. So that's what we've been able to do on the e-commerce side. We've been able to do that with SignalForge in a very, very exciting way, in a very big way, where over the past 3 months, our members have generated well into millions of dollars in profits. Okay, and we're getting to the point where we cannot be managed by a single broker either. So you'll notice that we have two pieces to our SignalForge back office. You have the manual trading right here, and you have the automated trading. And today has been actually very exciting day because, as you can see, there were a whole lot of wins registered. Now, unfortunately, since we are working with only binary.com at the moment, there are trades that are not replicated at binary.com automatically. However, you can just as easily take these trades manually, and that's what many of our members do. And actually looking at the numbers, roughly 18% of our users take these trades manually, okay? Vast majority, almost 80%, take these trades only automatically, only through the system that we have in place. But about 20%, 18% take these trades manually as well. And we get a lot of requests. People have been coming in saying, well, how do you do this manually? Can you show us how to do it manually? And the interesting thing is that doing this manually is just as easy. It is not a very complicated thing at all. And it actually looks like this. You would log into a broker back office, your broker account, and you would simply click a button. Okay, you will click a button for the signal that comes in. So you would look in here, you would get a notification saying Euro GBP, take the direction call, take the direction going up, and you would go in your back office for your broker, and you would click the same way on call, which is going up. That's all. That's literally how easy it is. So what we are doing is actually putting together a very detailed tutorial for you guys, and we're actually going to be integrating with a bunch of additional brokers for you, so you can start taking these trades manually at the same time. You can have the automated system going for you, and you can start doing it manually as well. We're also going to be adding in some additional brokers to work with you automatically on the automated trading as well. All of that, the timelines on those depend a little bit on the different brokers, but we are going to be adding the manual trading piece in here along with a bunch of additional brokers where you can take all these trades by the end of this week. We're going to have a whole list of different regulated brokers where you can go create an account and you can go replicate these trades yourself if you would like, and basically we're going to have a quick tutorial for you on how to do that as well. Okay, so that will resolve a lot of your concerns, a lot of your issues regarding can I take these trades in different locations and so on. In addition to that, you will notice that now we are starting to put more signals in here that fire outside of the times that binary.com has restricted. And we have already spoken with them. We expect that that will be resolved as well. So you're going to see a lot of good stuff happening on this side. But what this has done for us is, as we've seen some of the restrictions from binary.com and so on, it's not only propelled us to add the manual trading side with a bigger emphasis, to bring on more brokers, but it's also helped us expedite the release of SignalForge FX version. Okay, now who here is somewhat familiar with FX and who's kind of excited about what's going to happen with FX? Awesome. So actually, let's walk through our plan for October. Okay, so you had heard John kind of reference this a little bit. The daily trading volume is actually $5.3 trillion in FX world, and you can see the rough breakdown across which currencies are involved in these different trades. And our plan for October is to add more brokers for manual trading. We discovered this. Add more brokers for automated trading. We can do that. And now let's talk a little bit about the FX version. So one big reason why we are able to do this as quickly as we're actually going to be putting it out very soon here in October. The reason we're able to do this is we went through the testing phase, and we expected that we will have to do a lot of different things to make it work. But our testing actually went extremely well. In fact, let me show you guys some really cool data from our test phase. And this is the live test that has been running. This is not something we can manipulate. It's actually live. in real time. I've just taken a screenshot of it so other people are not sharing the link out there. And this is essentially our live account that we've been running since August 10th. And you can see the numbers on here. This is running on complete autopilot right now with the EA. This is exactly the same system that will be put out for all of you to use on your Forex accounts as well. And you will be able to use a slew of very well-respected, highly regulated brokers out there. You don't have to worry about the volume. You don't have to worry about withdrawals. You don't have to worry about any of those concerns whatsoever. And you will notice that these results are not only very successful in terms of how many trades are won. As you can see, 70% of the trades were won when it was along, which means going up, and 73% of the shorts won as well. So not only did we win pretty significantly in terms of percentage of trades, it also wins pretty significantly on each trade. And you can modify yourself what kind of an income you want to make from this, what kind of returns you want to make from this. You can modify that by modifying how aggressive you want to be in the trading. So you can, for example, increase how many lots you're trading. You can increase how much of your account size is being traded, and you can actually earn higher revenue. So we're going to actually cover all of that in the trading, in the training for this. But it's an extremely simple system, and it's completely automated. You're going to log in, you're going to put your settings in place, and you'll be essentially be able to participate in this whole thing without having to worry about somebody managing this for you or you managing it yourself. Now, as you can see, we've been averaging about 8.6% at the lowest risk settings that we have in here. That's 8.6% per month at lowest risk settings. That's an extremely strong system, as you can imagine. It's a very stable system as well. We have a lot more data. This is actually our live data, but we have more data from before this as well. We're going to actually publish all of that too. And what this lets you do is you can come in here, you can make changes, you can decide how aggressive you want to be, how conservative you want to be, how safely you want to do it, and not have to worry about being restricted just to the binary world. And it puts you in a very unique position because you can have a Forex account that's growing by itself. You can have a binary account that's being automatically traded. You can actually have multiple accounts if you want to. And you can also add in manual trading if you would like on top of all of that. So does that sound fair bit exciting to people? Would you like the idea of having a lot of different accounts basically running for you all the time? Beautiful. Yes. So as would be expected, everybody's excited. Obviously, I'm excited. I mean, I've personally had many accounts running like this for a while as well. So we have very solid data. We are very excited about it. We are going to be talking about manual trading and all those things as well. But obviously, we are very excited about the Signal Forge FX version. Now, the other thing that we are going to be doing, along with this move towards Signal Forge FX, we're also going to be simplifying things even more. Now, we actually believe that this is close to the simplest system that exists out there, right? The most easy to share system out there. You can basically tell somebody how to do this. You can show them in about an hour how to set things up. But one challenge that people have faced is setting up a VPS, running your account on there, things like that. And that is a little bit of a tech challenge, not anything immense. And one of our things that we've been working on in the background is being able to simplify that even more, essentially bypassing the whole VPS and tech setup. So one big thing that we are doing with Signal Forge FX is that you will not need to download MT4. You will not need to install EAs. You will not need to move around files or get a VPS and install software systems on there. You will not need to do any of that stuff. You will basically be able to log in your back office, copy paste a simple line in there or what we call a token in there, and that's it. And you will not need VPSs and so on. So that's going to be a very big point of simplification as well, because somebody can log in and from day one when they sign up, in less than 10 minutes, they can be up and going and have an account that's being traded for them. So it's going to simplify things even more. It'll allow you to focus on the things that are the most profitable for you, which is the actual trading and sharing of the platform at the same time. So that's another one of our big goals for October, and we are actually coming along very nicely. We are on target. Actually, we are way ahead of schedule, and things are going well. Finally, one thing that we're going to do, given how successful Signal Forge has already been and how much excitement is around it and how much it's growing, we're also going to be running a little interesting compensation plan promotion. Now, we're going to share the details of this in a later webinar, but be prepared, because right as we release the FX platform, we're going to release it for beta testing to a group at the end of this following week, and then we're going to release it to the live, in a big way to everybody in the system towards the middle of this month. When we do so, we will also be announcing a compensation plan promotion, which will allow you to actually earn quite a bit more. It'll be a very exciting time for all of us, and we're going to go over those details with you when the time is appropriate, when we are actually much closer to releasing the whole system. But this is our October plan with Signal Forge. Who thinks this is a pretty good plan? If you like this plan, just go ahead and say that's a good plan. Awesome.
That's a good plan.
So everybody likes the plan.
I like that plan.
So we like plans. Yeah, I mean, this is our SFP for October, and SFP is going to be a big thing. So I'm going to pass this back on over to John and Kevin, and they can go through the other fun stuff that's lined up in here. And actually, one of the great things that's happening right now is how our members are able to use the sharing of the platform with others, and they're going to use that. They're able to use that to fund their accounts, which then is being created for them and doing really well. One other question that we have gotten at times is from people saying, "Hey, I would really like to do this manually, but I'm not around at the hours to do this." So one interesting thing, there's a very interesting statistic that I want to share with you guys. The 4-hour window when a significant portion of our signals fire, these signals right here, as you'll notice, they kind of fire pretty close together. These are actually all fired within about a 25-minute period is when all of these trades came in. And they almost always come in within a 4-hour window. Even more specifically, they come in about 84% of our trades, this specific type of trades, they come in a space of 2 hours. So you can actually dedicate just 2 hours a day and say, just these 2 hours, I'm going to be available near my computer. And if not near my computer, I'm going to be available on my phone, or I'll get the Signal Forge app. I'm going to use that. We are also going to be putting our app, by the way, for you guys. As long as you're available for those 2 hours, and if you can't be available yourself, you can have somebody who can take the trades on your behalf, maybe your business partner or your spouse or somebody who works with you. If you just dedicated those 2 hours every day to being available, not 2 hours to working, but 2 hours to being available, you would be seeing a profit factor of roughly 11.6. Okay, now here's what that means. That means if all you did was trade in that 4-hour window when significant portion, about 84% of our trades fired, and you were taking $100 trades or $10 trades, you're going to make $116. If you were taking $100 trades, you would make $1,160 in the month. Since you're taking the trades manually and you're not going through the restrictions that we place to keep you guys safe, you can take bigger trade sizes if you would like. We obviously suggest and very highly teach that you should only take risks that you can very easily afford. You should not take very risky trades with very large trade sizes. But depending on whatever your trade size is, you would be able to earn 11.6 times that trade size. Okay, so this idea that trading means sitting at the computer the whole time trying to find a way to take trades or trying to understand the market. So you actually don't have to do that. Even doing it manually, dedicating a 2 to 4 hour window by yourself, or even splitting it amongst yourself and your spouse, or yourself and somebody that you work with, you'll be looking at 11 to 12 times of your trade size being returned to you every single month. And I think that's a very, very, very significant thing. And it's something that you really should, let's think in and think about that. there is no business model, there are no systems out there that basically can get you those kind of returns. Now, of course, that's an average. Remember, it goes up and down. There will be months where you will see 25 times, there will be months you will see only 5 times, there will be months you might see a little bit of a loss. But on average, we are looking at 11.6 times of that trade size, and that's a very, very strong number. So I would suggest that all of you consider, at the end of this week, we're going to add a bunch of brokers in our back office which all offer these expiries, that offer these pairs, or at least most of them that are regulated, that we have vetted already, that we have spoken with. You'll be able to go in your back office, you'll be able to go to those brokers, set up your accounts, and you can start doing this stuff manually yourself as well. Okay, so I think these are very interesting statistics and very interesting data that often gets ignored, and that sometimes people don't realize that when we talk about manual trading, we are not talking about something complicated that you have to figure out how to read the markets. We're simply talking about you waiting for a signal forge to beep and let you know that there's a signal, and for you to go in and click a button. That is literally all you would have to do in these cases. So I'm pretty excited about this. Obviously, I like this stuff. You can probably tell I like this stuff. And I'm very excited about what's happening with us and what's going to happen over the next 15 days especially. It's going to be very, very exciting. So Kevin, John, that's all I have for now. And that's the other beautiful thing about this. There's not a whole lot to talk about because it's so simple. So it's back to you guys, and go right ahead.
Well, it's certainly not reflective of what's going on behind the scenes. Obviously, it's furious behind the scenes. There's an awful lot being done. But Kevin, one of the things I just wanted to ask you, because you're such an online master, and so many people, not only in this room but in home business in general, that really love the idea of using social media to build a business, especially when you have a rewards plan that pays out as much money as a rewards plan does. And one of the things that really excites me, especially coming from a traditional network marketing background, or individuals coming from no network marketing experience at all, is how exciting it would be to be able to send the odd social media post, just made X on the Canadian versus US dollar signal, and those types of things. I bet your imagination is just running wild with the kind of marketing opportunities that this type of simplicity would present.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we had the opportunity to market something very, the I guess you could air quotes beta version of this a while back. Some of you will know what I'm talking about. And there's very specifically, when anyone would sign up, I would hop on the phone and give them a call, and I'd ask them what got them to sign up, and it was one video. There was one video that was about 7 minutes long that when they saw it, they signed up, and we'll be replicating that here. But on social media, I mean, you can have such a buzz around this, and there's kind of an elephant in the room, and I'm just kind of going to veer off of onto this topic for a second, and Hitesh, I'd like to bring you back out to touch on this, because it might be floating around the back of everyone's mind as it was mine when we first started talking about this. There are other companies that do Forex in this space. Now, there's a huge difference when it comes to trading, okay? Via a manual trade, as in a human is taking the trade, and what happens here as an algorithm is taking the trade, which is a software. And there's a huge difference in that, in the legalities of being able to do this. And that was a big stumbling block and it has continued to be a stumbling block for a lot of companies that are out there. So we're very excited that the laws work in our favor to allow us to bring this to you. Is there anything you want to chime in on that, Hitesh? Because I think that's a huge point.
Yeah, of course. I want to talk about it actually from two perspectives, right? So we'll talk about it from a legal perspective, and then we will also talk about it from the perspective of keeping members safe. And that's why the legal side actually mirrors that. So legally, it is not very easy. You actually have to have the SEC permission. You have to be registered with the SEC. You have to take a CD 67 and a 65 licensing test and so on before you can take trades on somebody else's behalf. Okay, and there's a very strict criteria for that as well. So there are companies out there right now that offer to trade people's accounts and offer forex trading or offer different types of tradings. And there's a very big concern there because they will very readily tell you that they have a group of traders, and they will always say, well, our traders are just better than other traders. And these traders are essentially trading on your behalf. Now, they might use a trade copier service, as it's called, which is the trader will take a trade and that trade will automatically be replicated on your account. The problem is that it's still, at the end of the day, it's an individual who is trading on your behalf, and they likely have not gotten all of the certifications, they have not been authorized by the SEC to do so, and you most likely don't qualify for that either. Okay, so there's a big concern there. On our side, the system that we offer, essentially we offer a software platform. There is no human being in the background who is sitting there and taking the trades on a daily basis. Okay, now there's two important pieces with this. The first is, this means that there is no SEC concern, or there is no concern on the legal side that there's a human being who has access to your account and is trading your account. But also, from a results perspective, that means there is not a person that will make a mistake. That also means there is not a person whose emotions could play into it, who is having a bad day and might make bad decisions based on that. That's one of the reasons why the law is what it is. It's to try and keep people safe. So in our place, in our system, we don't have human traders who are sitting there taking these trades on the forex system on your behalf. It's an automated system that we have built, perfected, tested, and you saw the results of it. And that's what's running on your accounts. And we have humans and we have traders who review it all the time. We have software engineers who are constantly reviewing it and making it better and working on it all the time. But essentially, it's a lease for a software platform that you're using. It's a software as a service platform, what we call a SaaS platform. It's not a concern of do you have a group of people who are taking these trades for you. So that's one of the big distinctions that you always have to draw on both a legal perspective, but also from perspective of what will keep you safer, right? I would always trust a computer over myself on trading, because the computer is not going to be swayed by any emotional things that are going on, as long as you have the right factors in place, as long as you have sufficient automation to watch for some classical signs, right? Like there's a news happening in the market, let's not take a trade right now, things like that. So that's a big factor, and I hope that addresses some of the thoughts that I hope some of you have thought about these things, because these are good things to think about when you're getting into a business, especially a business that's starting to do extremely well, is getting a lot of good attention. It's important to have these kind of discussions, and we are very transparent about all of this stuff. We like being very transparent because we are always trying to do things the right way. And as some of you know, we have been doing this for almost 4 years. So we have dealt with all of the legal things and all of the different situations, and that's why we know what we can do and what we should do, as opposed to what everybody else tries to do out there or offers out there, or will share a story out there without actually having the right backing for it. So does that address the concern appropriately? Does that answer the question properly?
It really does, and I'll tell you, most everyone on here that I recognize the names for are builders, are folks that introduce people into the business opportunities, show them how that they can grow an income, and are changing lives by doing so. And what is exciting to me about that answer, and the fact that we have something that in the very, very stringent eyes of the government is legal and you can do. And we know that most of the companies that are out there in this space are not, I don't think any of them are doing it, right? So it takes away one of the biggest objections that you're going to come across when you're talking to folks, because the first thing they're going to go is, wow, that sounds way too good to be true. Is it legal? And bam, you guys got the answer. And we'll obviously link to government materials, and we'll have videos about this and all kinds of stuff, because it's something that we don't want to kind of bury in the back. We want to put out in the front. We want to let everybody know, because we're very proud of it, and two, it's a huge selling point for you guys down the road. It's going to be huge for you. So I'm pretty excited about that, and thanks for taking the time to kind of go through that and explain that, because I know we have some folks on here that would have that question. If not now, then they would, they would have that question down the road. So
Yeah,
pretty exciting.
absolutely.
And one of the questions in the chat was, well, what about the U.S. folks? And that's where the biggest problem lies, is in the U.S., right? And this problem gets solved with that. This problem gets solved with that. So high five on that, George.
Yes, so some of the brokers that we're working with, not just on the binary option side, which is, I mean, relatively, I mean, it's a very, very small market compared to the Forex side. So I'll talk about both, but on both sides, we're working with brokers. We're actually in talks with them almost on a daily basis to get everything set up so that the US members also have access to these things, including to automated trading. We are getting two of the largest US brokers involved in this as well. You're going to be able to trade on them. And once we have all of the details, like I said, about over the next 2 weeks, we're going to have all of the data, all of the details, everything set up. We just want to make sure that we have everything in place before we even mention a broker, right? So we're going to get all of this done for you. We're going to have that out there, but we are very, very, very confident and very certain and very safe in saying that we are going to have brokers for the US members as well. They will be able to set up their Forex accounts, and they will be able to take trades on the automated platform, just like our international members have been able to very soon here. So the FX side is going to be very big, not just from the perspective that it's the FX market and it's big. It's also going to be big from the perspective that it's a very liquid market. It allows the US members to basically experience this wonderful automation as well. And you don't have to worry about, is the broker too small to be able to handle the volume that I want to do? Okay, so hopefully that addresses everything for the US members.
Yeah, it's critically important, and thanks very much, Kevin, and thanks, Tesh, for touching on it, because, one of the things that all of us, when we're building a business for ourselves, want to know is that we have an opportunity not only to build this to profit today and tomorrow, but really years down the road. And what we've got here, which is not an easy thing to accomplish, without exaggerating, is more of a legacy, because the Forex industry or market is certainly not going anywhere. And these algorithms, for those of you listening, I've been aware of some of these technologies now for a couple of years, and I've been so excited, waiting for this to get to the point where we're at right now, just at the edge of releasing all of this to you. This is the most attractive product that I've seen in this network marketing industry that spans the entire planet for the past 60 plus years. This is absolutely the most exciting thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We can't wait. We can't wait for some of the stuff to pop out to you guys. We can't wait for the next couple weeks to pass. It's kind of like kids waiting on Christmas, and we're just excited about it. So yeah, do we have anything else, guys, or do you want to wrap this up? And
we've hit 45 minutes. I think it's short for everybody.
I think we should definitely wrap it up. I think what I would really like to do is, and both of you should do this as well for them, I just basically something like a homework for what you should be doing over the next 2 weeks as we are doing our part, bringing this whole thing out and putting it out, what you should be doing over the next 2 weeks. I would try and become a little bit more familiar with the terminology of this world. Go through the tutorials that are already in your back offices. We're going to release more tutorials at the end of this week that you'll be able to work with. We're also going to announce a training webinar that will be primarily a product trading webinar. It's going to be very straightforward because it's as simple as it is. But become familiar with some of the terms that are used. Become familiar with managing your account, running your account. What are the different brokers out there? How does the whole thing work? Some of the normal questions and answers about it. Think about those things. Also, I would highly suggest that you guys create a little plan of your own, a plan centered around, if I want to generate X dollars a month, then these are the type of account sizes that I would need. And to get to that account size, my sources of income there are my funds that I may already have, but also what can I earn from the rewards plan so that I can get my account size to the certain point where then I'm generating the income I want every month. So for example, if you're somebody who says, look, if I was making 10% return in a month, if I was making a 10% return and I want to make $1,000 a month, then I need an account size of $10,000. How am I going to get to $10,000? Let me consider the rewards plan. Let me consider the income that I already have. Let me consider all these things. How can I do this in the most safe manner possible? So some of you, actually all of you should be thinking about that already, and all of you should be laying down a plan for yourself on how you're going to get to that stage over the next 3 months, over the next 6 months, and that's where you need to kind of pick one of these gentlemen here. John and Kevin are very, very experienced in doing very well, building rewards plan, building an income, doing so. You should be reaching out to them saying, hey, look, I've kind of laid out my plan, and I need to be able to make over the next 6 months this much amount. What do you suggest? What is the ideal pathway for me? And they can guide you on that. John especially can give you a very specific pathway on how to do so. Meanwhile, you should also be getting information on how much do I need in here, what is a safe way for me to trade, how can I trade without taking too many risks, how many brokers do I want to have my accounts on, all of those things. Make sure you have your KYC documents in place, make sure that you have your data in place that you will need to share with brokers when you create your accounts. You will need some kind of photo ID, you will need some proof of address, because this is a financial thing. Because you're moving money around, you have to have those things. So those are some of the things that I would suggest you all take the time for over the next 2 weeks. Some of you might have just done this as kind of a, let's check it out, let's see what happens here, and now you're kind of excited because you were just checking it out and it's made you money. For some of you, it's been kind of the main source, it's been your driving factor, and that's awesome. But you need to make sure you have a plan. You need to make sure that you are connected to the right people who can help you execute that plan. That's where John and Kevin come in a big way. And you need to make sure that you yourself are familiar enough with the terms and have enough knowledge to make sure that you are able to also work on your plan appropriately. So John, Kevin, I'd invite you to just kind of share a little bit of what you suggest they should be doing over the next 2 weeks, and we'll go from there. And obviously, guys, probably the biggest thing is pay a lot of attention to the emails that you get from us over the next 2 weeks, to the notifications you get from us in your back offices, in your Skype rooms, and all of those things.
Thanks very much.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I'll tell you what, guys and gals, we're going to be doing some big stuff with this, with things that are called funded proposals and all kinds of cool marketing online, and we're going to be doing a lot of connecting and offline stuff. This document that you see here is pretty straightforward. You guys can snapshot this, and I'm sure John can get into this. I think he's got a whole training designed around this, which is really, really cool. And we'll be able to help you guys out as far as the recruiting side if you're building the rewards plan side. And so it'll be some amazing times. I see a lot of people on here that are again some amazing leaders, and you guys know what to do. Right? I mean, I see a ton of you on here that I know for a fact you know how to build teams and support those teams. So I'm looking to see what's going to come out of that with these leaders. But pretty insane. John, do you want to touch on this, or do you want to wrap up and do this on another call? What do you want to do?
Yeah, we will walk through it. I think you've hit on the most important point, Kevin, and that is this is going to be part of that PDF training that we make available for them very soon. This will be a license to print money when you understand exactly how to use that with this product. Absolutely will be. So get ready to reach your goals, because I don't think there will have ever been easier than with Signal Forge Forex that's going to be released very, very soon. And between that and the marketing tools and strategies that Kevin's going to make available for you in the coming months, this will be very exciting roads ahead for everybody.
Definitely, and yeah, and it's just, I'll tell you, it's hard to even end this webinar because we're so excited about what we have here. I mean, we look at the industry as a whole: network marketing, home-based business, growing an income online, and it's changing. It's evolving fast, very quickly, and things that you could do even 2 or 3 years ago you can't do today. Mindsets have changed, populations and how they connect with information have shifted. And so the way that you present things has changed quite a bit. And so we get to teach you guys that, and that's going to be an incredibly rewarding and fun time for us to do, because we're going to start, recruiting into this and promoting just as you guys are. And we get to pass down that knowledge and get on webinars and do some cool stuff with this, because we see this as not just a home-based business opportunity, or not just a way to make some money with Forex or something like that. It's really the last chance we have, right? When you look at the home business arena, can anybody on here, and I'm just going to ask this question and then I'm going to stop, because I see that no one's dropped off of here yet, so that's encouraging me to keep going. But can anyone on here, after seeing this and what the power of this is, could you see yourself selling a bottle of juice out there in a typical MLM binary kind of rewards plan? Could you see yourself selling some makeup? Could you see yourself out there trying to, put a bunch of stuff in stock your garage? It's digital. Everyone's saying no on here, and that's, you're right with me, because this is a digital world that we live in. Those things, even the shipping costs, the COGS, the cost of goods, the way those companies operate, can anyone see themselves selling just a travel package? Travel's great, love it, but could you sell just a travel package that you use once a year? Probably not.
What's most important, Kevin, is people don't want to sell anything.
No,
and
they don't.
I think one of the real catalysts has been the fact that social media now is being used by everybody. Your grandmother is on social media. Your parents are on social media. Your children are on social media. And for a long time, people were soliciting anything and everything on their social media. And it's really made people hypersensitive to being sold anything. That's not why they're there. That's not what they're looking for. And so when you try to sell a bar or a box of something to them, I tell you, man, they shut you down really fast. And so we're going to be able to represent something that the product in its own right is actually making me money. It's not a cost. It's not a liability. And so in this case, when my product is making me money, guess what happens when I mention it? I'm sharing some remarkable news. It's a completely different share than if I'm trying to sell a physical product. And you're going to see the difference when you get out there and start talking about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I think you guys can tell we're pretty excited about all this stuff, and we're excited to see what you do with it, and we're excited to see this you guys grow. What's happened so far in Signal Forge has just been insanity. And unfortunately, what's funny is we had one person, when I said no one's dropped off, I saw one person drop off, and then they must have been disconnected because they hopped right back on. So I think you guys are pretty excited about this. Let me know in the chat if you guys are excited about what we have going on here and are looking forward to the next couple of weeks and what we have to bring out to you guys inside of Signal Forge, inside of everything that we're doing, and grow this. I appreciate you guys. And quoting the chat, this is awesome. So I think that's about it.
Yeah, can we do just a really, really quick recap for people who I know a lot of people, again, came on. They were hungry to learn the manual, especially when you see all those wins coming through. First of all, it's important that you know that binary.com will be replicating those signals again for you very soon. So you will be making money on auto trader replicated trades. That absolutely will start happening right away. But you're right for so many people wanting to understand how to do this manual, especially now that Hitesh has shown you that really is just a couple of clicks. You'll know within 72 hours when that webinar is scheduled for. So you're not going to have to wait a long time. You might know a little earlier than that. We've got to align a couple of trainers for you, and then we will get that booked. We'll get a link out to you. So that's the first important thing for you. And the next thing is the training that we've been talking about and alluding to. That will be available for you this calendar week so that you can actually start putting pen to paper and really start strategizing, as Kevin and Hitesh mentioned, how you're going to reach your 6-month and 12-month goals and then beyond.
Yeah, I think
I am. I'm good. I'm back. Yeah. Okay. I was talking when you. So I just want to say thanks for everyone for being on with us. We're really excited about this stuff, and we appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to be here and be a part of this, and what we believe is going to be one of the biggest things, definitely this year, this decade, but one of the biggest things that's going to change your lives as far as monetarily coming down the pipelines and from in the future. So we're excited that you guys are going to be a part of this. We're excited to see what you guys do with this, and we're excited, you know, for all this stuff, because we're pretty passionate about getting you guys success, and we wouldn't be here if we weren't. We would have just hoarded this to ourselves. So yeah, there we are. And that's it. That's all I got. All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Good day, good night, wherever you are.